Take 17. All right. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol, and this is The Dateable Marriage. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I did a video about how men and women have a slightly different order of priority in getting their emotional connection and their sexual connection from their relationship. But we are both sexes are looking for both emotional and sexual connections. And I had a really good question in the comments. What happens when the man wants an emotional connection he can't get? And I think let's just start off with saying, let's not care why he can't get this emotional connection. We're just going to assume he's doing all the right things. He's trying real hard, and he's just running into a brick wall of her level of interest and ability to connect. And I think there are three basic things that are going to happen to this guy. And I think these three things are the same, whether or not it's a man or a woman, or whether or not you're looking for an emotional connection or a sexual connection. These three things are going to happen. They're going to happen in the same order, and each one that happens is more serious and more critical than the one before it. So there's a kind of an escalation of the trouble here. So the first thing that happens is you're going to have some sort of negative emotional reaction about it all. You may get depressed, you may get angry, you may get frustrated, you may be bargaining real hard to try and get what you want, you may be playing hard to get and pulling away. You may have blow-ups or little tantrums or just being upset or whatever it is. You're going to have some sort of pattern of negative emotional reactions to it all. And this is all super normal, super predictable, and I think the way you go about it is it's probably dependent on your personality type, whether you start off with depression and turn inwards, or you start off with anger and you turn outwards. But you're probably going to bounce around between all these sort of strategies, including trying to rationalize to yourself why you don't actually really want the thing that you want, and it's totally okay that you don't get it. But you're going to go through all this sort of rainbow collection of responses to not getting what you want. The second thing that's going to happen, assuming the first thing goes on for long enough and you're denied long enough, the second thing that's going to happen is you're going to find your partner less and less dateable. You're going to be less and less attracted to them. And the whole point of them being dateable is it's meant to seduce you and lure you into a relationship with them where you get your needs met and they get their needs met. But as you're in the relationship long enough and you're just not getting what your needs met, you start finding yourself less and less interested in them, less attracted, find them less dateable, because you're slowly starting to get wise to the fact that there's some advertising out there, but you shouldn't really believe it. And this may take a number of months, it may take a number of years, where if you just don't get what you need and want from the relationship, you just find them less dateable. And I've seen this many times where someone has tried, they've come to me for coaching, they've read the books, they've watched the video series, and they've put everything in place and been super excited about going all gung-ho to make all of this better. They become more attractive, people around them are more attracted to them, other women or other men find them more attractive, except they just keep running into a brick wall with their partner. After a certain point, the level of interest in that partner just drops. The third thing that happens, and this is all a logical progression, the third thing that can happen is we run into really serious relationship breaking stuff. We get to a place where people want to separate, where people want to divorce or get their needs met elsewhere and they have an affair, or even they just find their level of interest in their partner just drops so low that they just have this mental snapping and they feel nothing. They feel almost numb about their partner as they go through the motions of being in the relationship. And there may be no abuse, there may be no neglect, no violence, there's enough food on the table, everyone is kind of sort of getting along. But it's just sort of emotionally flat, just completely dead-end. And the further you get down in this list, if it's just you being negative emotions, it's one thing. If you're starting to lose interest and attraction to them, that's worse. If you're really reaching relationship critical things, that's even harder to come back. And I realize that's all very bleak and sort of depressing, but it's also extremely realistic. And I think still, for most couples, if you figure out you're on some of this downward slide, if you find out the things that you can do that will make you more attractive, make you more dateable, often it is quite easy to turn things around. It's really only when we get to true relationship breaking stuff that we have a really much harder time of getting things back to how they could be. That's it for today, and I will talk to you soon.